Hey, how you doing, everybody? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Welcome to Open. Coming up on today's show, we're here from a community leader and entrepreneur who is celebrating a major milestone with the organization. Then after that, we'll sit down with a young man who has a diverse background in corporate banking, modeling, and culinary arts. He'll share his passion for the food industry and highlight his new catering business and signature dishes too. Watch out. Then we'll hear from the co-founder and president of a nonprofit organization that is using the power of music to save hearts, one beat at a time. And finally, we'll sit down with the co-founder of a vegan eatery and highlight the food and drink options that they have to offer. And you don't want to miss that, so all you have to do is sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet because we're wide open. Here we go. ¿Cómo está? The dancing in the studios and dancing at home too. How you doing, everybody? I'm your host, the Doc Bob Lee from WBLS, and you're watching Open. It's a live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. All you have to do is stay connected through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is an entrepreneur and a community leader. She's no stranger to the show. She's the founder of Kingsbridge Unidos It's a mutual aid group that distributes fresh produce and so much more to families throughout the Northwest Bronx, and I think they're going to expand that too. So here we go. And she joins us to speak about her organization's 5th anniversary and so much more. So congratulations on that. We welcome Jessica Altagracia. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bob Lee. It's always great to be here with you.
So, nice to be here with you too. Now, the last time you were here, we were talking about
buckets.
The buckets.
Buckets for the Bronx.
Buckets for the Bronx.
Yes.
Refresh my memory.
Yes, Buckets for the Bronx. We've hosted 2 incredible free 3v3 high school basketball tournaments over the past few years. Our first one was right here at Lehman College, and we are getting ready to prepare for the 3rd annual Buckets, but that's not going to be till February because we really want this to be big. And you know, for the folks at Lehman listening, we're hoping they'll give us the main gym so that we can play under the lights. But
so we're just going to give you a little taste of that.
Yeah.
But give us a little background on yourself and how was it growing up, like in Kingsbridge?
Sure.
Queensbridge, Kingsbridge.
Kingsbridge.
I know, I'm from Queensbridge.
That's all right. We won't hold that against you.
I represent Queens. She was raised out in Kingsbridge.
I was born and raised in Kingsbridge. You know, my grandma was a home health aide, and I remember taking all of those long walks because my up the hill because my mom worked at Loman's back in the day, and childcare was hard for a single mom, and so I spent a lot of time with my grandma cooking and following her at work, and she taught me from an early age that you care for people through food, right? And so during the height of the pandemic in June of 2020, when folks were struggling with basics, where am I going to get groceries, where am I going to get information, trusted information, we got to work. I fundraised from my professional network. I've been working in government service for over 10 years now, and just organizing. And I asked folks, how can we come together and purchase wholesale produce from the Hunts Point Produce Market? So shout out to Dorigo and to the former GM, Phil Grant there, and former State Senator Alessandra Biaggi, who connected us with a really incredible vendor who we made some arrangements with, and we started essentially a free CSA program for the tenants in my grandma's building. And after knocking on doors and delivering produce, we started to ask families, what else could we help you with? Then we learned people just needed joy. They needed joy. They needed 5 minutes to themselves, and they needed to know that someone was thinking about them. So that's the start of Kingsbridge Unidos, and since then we've done basketball tournaments, we've distributed bikes, we're going to distribute some more bikes at this upcoming event I'm excited to tell you about, and we've we continue to grow. So we're marking 5 years, which is kind of bittersweet, but
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, but what inspired you to start the Kingsbridge Unidos?
You know, I think
When I think of Unidos, I think of uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Uno, dos,
You gotta
tres, let's
keep it
get to
going,
work. Yeah, let's get to work. You know, like I mentioned, for my grandma, and I grew up in a Dominican family, you really do gather around food. And I know you're talking to a lot of, you're talking to folks who are going to be talking about amazing food. Food is culture, food is celebration, but food is also connection. And so I saw that there was an opportunity to fill in a leadership void in our community, right? There was a chance for us to just start asking each other, what can we build together? We don't need to rely on policy. We don't need to rely on, you know, different interests. We can do it ourselves.
Talk about some of those services that you provide, though.
Yeah, sure. So, you know, we've distributed almost 100,000 pounds of produce over the last 5 years.
That's big.
Huge, because, you know, health is wealth, and that comes through produce and fresh foods. 2 years ago, we had a huge bike giveaway, children's bike giveaway on Three Kings Day. Shout out to State Senator Gustavo Rivera, who helped us secure an incredible space in Marble Hill, and we had over 200 people there. We raffled 26 children's bikes that we rescued from a former bike shop. We rehabbed them thanks to I don't even know how many hours these volunteers put into repairing those bikes to make sure they were safe and they were ready to ride. We partnered with the New York City Department of Transportation to make sure that kids had helmets, they had, you know, lights, and the parents felt, okay, I'm all right with my kid taking off on this bike.
And ride those bike lanes.
Yeah, we need more bike lanes, of course. And then we've done Buckets for the Bronx, which has been, I grew up playing basketball. I played basketball in Van Cortlandt. I played in high school until I messed up my knee, so I don't jump anymore. But, you know, basketball also, what we started to learn from organizing with folks is people want to just play.
We're playing basketball.
Yes. They want to vibe. They want music. They want community. They want somewhere to go with their friends, somewhere safe to play. So Buckets has been a huge part of Kingsbridge Unidos' growth. And as we're looking ahead to the next 5 years, it's becoming clearer to me that the direction for us is to create a third space.
Yeah. Do they still use that term, buckets or baskets?
We still use it. We still use buckets, but maybe I'm an elder millennial, so I don't know.
No, well, we're gonna mix it in so everybody knows what it is.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Buckets. You know, it's
the
the
buckets,
swish.
the basket.
It's that.
Swit.
Yeah. Of course.
So you have you did the things for the Three Kings. Of course, that's in December, January after Christmas, the Three Kings Christmas. And then you have something coming up now.
We do. On
April 26th.
April 26th, we hope to see you. We hope to see the folks in studio. But on April 26th from 12 to 3 at Van Cortlandt Park, by the handball courts and the basketball courts, because we are in the Bronx, we're going to be inviting everybody who's ever come to an event, who's been curious about an event, who lives in the neighborhood, come together, eat some good food, and talk about what have we done these last 5 years? What do we want to do next? Because I firmly believe in Kingsbridge Unidos is rooted in leading, letting folks lead, right? Letting folks who are impacted, the parents, the kids. We often dismiss the views of young folks. We're like, we know better. I don't know better. I don't know what it's like to be a 17-year-old in the Bronx right now, post-COVID. And so we want to make sure that as we build for the future, we're inviting folks to shape that.
Yeah. What does it look like for the next 5 years?
Well, my hope is to raise a lot of money and build a third space. And by third space, I mean, you know, I grew up going to St. John's and going to Mass with my family. Visitation has closed down. There are a lot of institutions of faith that are closing in our communities, and there aren't enough community centers. So when I mentioned, you know, Senator Gustavo Rivera, I called him and I was like, we need a space to give away and repair some bikes. And thankfully, you know, he's a creative guy, and he got on the phone, and through a connection with Essen Health, we found a location that we were able to use, but it's too hard to find places to gather. I'm not someone who wants to go to the bar all the time. I don't want to go, you know, that can't be the only space for us to gather. We
Senator
need to have.
Gustavo, he's a great guy.
He is. He's
really
a gem.
good guy. I like
He's
him.
a
I like
gem.
him a lot.
Yeah.
So you have that coming up. What should people expect?
Oh, people should expect good food. Because that's what we do.
I'll be there.
We're gonna yes, be there. We're gonna give away some children's bikes, so we're gonna raffle off some bikes. And I've been debating this with some friends. I don't know what we call them, but we're gonna give away a granny cart. You know what? I don't know what you guys call them. But in Spanish, you know, we call them just a coche.
Coche.
Yeah, you know, the little carts to do your shopping and your compra.
A stroller.
Yeah, well, not a stroller. But
Shopping cart.
A shopping cart. A shopping cart, right. So we're going to give away
strollers as shopping carts, too.
That's true. That's
Some
true.
people.
You got to be creative. So
Got to get the food home.
You got to get it home somehow. Exactly. So we'll be giving away some fun stuff. We'll have some family-friendly activities, play some basketball, and we're just going to break bread. And have some good vibes. So from 12 to 3 at Van Cortlandt on Broadway by the stadium.
And that's on the 26th
That's
of
on
April.
Saturday the 26th. So after Easter, so you have time.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You got website and everything. Here it is right here. Look.
Yes,
look.
yes. Here's our poster. Thank you
From
for sharing
day 1
that.
to year 5.
Yes, and if folks have questions or if they're interested in sponsoring anything for the event, you can email me at saludos, which is SALUDOS. That means hello in Spanish. Saludos at kingsbridgeunidos.org. I'm also on Instagram at Jessica.Altagracia. I read my DMs. Unless you're funny, I'm not reading it. But, we really want to make sure that folks have a chance to share the good vibes, take stock, celebrate Haram, who has been an incredible partner of mine from Cash Cow NYC. Shout out to him. We often talk about how hard it is for us to take a moment and just look around and celebrate what you've done. And so that's what this is. It's a thank you. Thank you. Let's move forward in gratitude.
And thank you for coming.
Thank
All right,
you.
Jessica Altagracia.
Thank you so much.
Gracias. World Food Founder, Kingsbridge Unidos.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank
Come
you.
back again, okay?
I will. I definitely will. Thank you so much.
If you're still playing, I have a basketball in the car.
Let's go. I keep a ball in my trunk.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We're coming back with more coming up next.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. "55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. "34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit BronxNet.org to learn more.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And welcome back. If you're in the studio, I know you smell it, and you're going to be salivating. See, our next guest is a chef. He's an entrepreneur also, is a man that wears many hats with a diverse background in banking, modeling, and culinary arts. And he speaks about his new catering business, Kim's Kitchen, and to highlight some signature dishes too. Some of them are right here. Watch out. Welcome to the show, Kimanie Travoy.
Yes, yes, sir.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Wow. Wait, what do we have here? We got cameras all over the place. Let's explain what. Well, of course, that's a big lobster dish, but
Yeah.
it's stuffed.
So, like I mentioned the last time we spoke, I like to bridge cultures and bridge just gaps everywhere. And Easter's coming up, right?
Yeah.
And traditionally on Easter time, I'm Jamaican, so we would normally do things like fried fish or escovitch fish.
Yes.
And I decided to kind of
selfish.
Exactly. I decided to flip it this year, and I was like, if you can put escovitch on a fish, why can't you put escovitch on a lobster? So I made escovitch lobster.
Look, she's licking her lips over there. The floor managers are going nuts.
Recipe to follow. Yeah, I've actually, kept my word too. I started recording content, so this is kind of like the first piece of content that I'm going to be putting out there. But like, I get these light bulb moments constantly.
Yeah.
And so I would love for you to try this one, man. This is one of my favorite things that I started to make. So.
And you got up early this morning and started hooking this up. Huh?
Yeah. It's a combination of a traditional Asian style of cooking a lobster where they normally would do ginger scallion, but instead of I omitted the ginger scallion and I just replaced it with escovitch.
Yeah, I see that. Whoa, and you got chunks, delicious chunks of lobster. And you got to smell this. It has the spices and everything in there too.
Yeah.
What are some of the spices you put in there?
So
I can smell like garlic and some other things.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. So traditionally, to do the ginger scallion lobster, you use a lot of ginger, a lot of garlic, and then it's made with oyster sauce and a little chicken broth. And then you balance that out now with the escovitch, where traditionally we use onions and peppers and vinegar. So you combine that together, and it's a wonderful little like flavor bomb in your mouth.
Wow.
And then that buttery lobster, fantastic.
Well, how do you stay thin and be around food all the time like this?
I am incredibly disciplined. So, like growing up, I was actually a chunky kid, and in my early 20s, I decided to, make a change on a healthier side. I was at Fordham University at the time, and I was trying to run to class, and I lost my breath, and I was like, wait a minute. Let's do something about this. And ever since then, it's almost like this strange, almost like internal body dysmorphia. Yeah. That was an homage to my 4-year-old self for my 40th birthday. I got a designer to recreate an outfit that's probably one of my favorite pictures of all time. And like I went to Aruba with friends and family, and it was a perfect moment.
This is a tough thing to do up here, Kimanie. To smell all the foods and everything, and you got the flavors going through your mouth and you're salivating, and I'm trying to ask you questions. I should put a bib on while I'm doing this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can you share your story with our audience? Of course, you said you're from Jamaica, and how you achieved the success across everything that you've been doing.
A lot of this is attributed to being a first-generation immigrant. I came here, my mom always told me, like, if you're good at something, you might as well go for it and try it at least once, and you never know. And, growing up, as I mentioned, I was a little portly little kid, but then I lost the weight in my early 20s, and then all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I'm on runways and in editorials on the magazine covers, and but at the same time, it was just that self-determination of like, hey, if you can, you might as well try. And same thing now with my catering business. It was, a chivalrous act that got me here, but at the same time, too, I already knew that I had the talent and the background from cooking for over 2 decades. So I said, you know what, let's bring it to the public. And I utilize my food as a way to bring the community together, honestly. That's really where it all comes back. Because food, to me, is a love language. It's my way of showing love. And growing up, as a openly gay man now, I look back and I realize that what really got me interested in cooking was that's how I recognize love. That's how I felt it. So my memories of love are behind the table, eating with my mom and my aunts. So even at my events, at my pop-ups, I love, exactly. I love watching people sit down and just have a conversation over a bite of something that I created for them.
I would pull one of these plates over to me and start eating. I got the fork and everything here, but everybody in the studio is like, don't touch it until after we're done.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I brought the oxtail for you. I know we mentioned it the last time too. Some oxtail with butter bean or broad bean, whichever one you want to call it. And then on the right here as well, I created like a nice little cool little jerk shrimp fried rice.
Yeah.
And a little bit of coconut milk to give it a nice little balance. And then I like to wash things down with, I like to call it, you know how people say rum punch?
Yeah.
Mine is a little bit heavy-handed, so it's not a rum punch. In Jamaica, instead of a punch, we say it with thump, so
Yeah.
it's a rum thump.
Rum thump.
Rum thump.
Got the thump in it right there.
Rum thump. Yeah.
And it's just missing one thing, and that's it. Like when you get off the plane, you go to Jamaica, and then of course, you know, you're gonna get your cocoa.
Oh, yeah, patty and cocoa bread. Oh, man, that brings back so many childhood
That's next
memories. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, see, that's the other thing, too, that I
setting
would
it up.
love to do is I would love to, like, you know, just continue to explore different dishes on, like, certain days. So, like, National Margarita Day, I'm going to make a dish to go with that.
Watch out.
Cinco de Mayo, I'm going to make a dish to go with that. Barbecue month, I'm going to make a dish to go with that. So, you know, come back on in and share some of these creations as I create them with you.
So from banking to Kim's Kitchen,
yeah.
talk about the in-betweens. Are you still doing the banking?
I am still doing the banking.
Because you're making money, so you put
And
the
as-
money in the bank.
As a matter of fact, one of my favorite things to do is I actually love making lunch for my team. So everybody on my team has had my food at some point or another.
Yeah.
And that was part of the entire experience. So even when at my pop-ups, there's always a little section of coworkers who are there because they're like, okay, we ate this, so we know it's good, so we're going to come and experience it from, you know, a broader perspective.
Did they come up to you and say, hey, you know, can you maybe prepare something for Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a thing, and it's part of the driving force behind why I just will never give up when it comes to cooking, because cooking is my joy. It's my experience of how I showcase talent. It's one of the many talents, or as some of my friends would say, it's one of my many side quests. I'm a gamer, so I will go on a side quest, and being a chef is one of my most amazing side quests so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kim's Kitchen, where's it located?
So Kim's
And you
Kitchen,
cater also, though.
I cater. And what I'm going to do actually for the summer is I'm turning Kim's Kitchen more into a traveling series. So we've built the foundation, and currently I've been hosting them at Sobro Garden in Mott Haven. But now we're going to also take it on the road and have these more private, curated experiences. Bring it to your rooftop. You have a 40th birthday to celebrate. Bring Kim's Kitchen in. A baby shower, brings Kim's Kitchen in. And we got you.
I was invited to dinner. I think it was there were correction officers, and they were higher up, you know, I think if they were captains and whatever they are, way up. And they invited a guy to come over, and they did all the cooking right there, and they had the coconut stuff and everything. It was so good. And I didn't want to be greedy, but it was so good I wanted to ask for more. But I said, let me just not show, you know, my greed in here, because I was really, really hungry, and I wanted more, but it was really, really good, whatever they did. So you'll be going around to different places like that, too.
Yeah.
You'll be on call like a doctor.
Yeah, almost. It's just like I'm a food doctor.
Yeah.
I'm here to inject you with a little bit of itis.
There you go.
Like, I even always say sometimes I don't fully believe in dessert. That's probably one of the things that also helps me stay a little bit together. I don't, like, if you eat my food and you're still hungry and you want some dessert afterwards, I failed. I failed. You should want a rum tum, and that's it. Go lay down.
A rum tum, go rub your tum and lay down. Or scratch it like this.
Yeah.
Good. So where do we go from here? What are some of the other dishes that you prepare?
So
I know you mentioned you're going to coincide with the holidays that are coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be a major part of what's going to drive the next phase of Kim's Kitchen. So we've already established that there are some fundamental dishes that I just am not allowed to not make. I have to make my oxtail. And my friends absolutely love my ginger scallion lobster, so I find new ways to flip it. But now, like you said, with the holidays coming around, every holiday I kind of want to create a themed dish, because one of my favorite things to do is challenge myself.
Yeah.
I can get bored very easily. So if I don't have something to look forward to in terms of like trying to make something new, then why am I doing it?
Yeah. So wait a minute. Do we have the plates ready, guys? You got the plates? Well, look, we'll fold up some napkins and pull out some. We'll make a plate. Right?
Yeah.
Great. Now, talk about the catering business. People can call you up and just
Yeah.
Say, hey, we want this. Can you bring this over? Can you prepare this for us?
So that's the next phase of it as well. So you
Or
can
you let
find
them
me.
know what you have to offer.
I do consultations.
Yeah.
I like to have what I'm cooking reflect what you would like as well. So lately I've started to do a lot more private settings. So you can find me on Instagram at Kimanie, Ki, 3 A's in the middle, N-I-E.
Yeah, yeah.
Or at Chef Kimanie. And I do one-on-one consultations with you to figure out, what's the vibe you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to insert myself, just like I insert myself into other cuisines, I'm going to insert myself into what your vision is.
So you do the psychographics and demographics. You want to find out who these people are
Yeah.
that are coming over to your house.
Yeah.
Who are you catering to?
Of course, because
Yeah.
if you say you love somebody, guess what? You know that person, right? So if I want to cook out of love, I need to know who you are as well so that I can meet you somewhere in the middle. So that's why I like to have a personal connection to the people that I'm cooking with. And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I've kind of wanted to scale Kim's Kitchen back from just like a big grandiose thing that I'm not McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm not, a fast food. I want this to be a full-on experience.
But you're going to have those people that are going to say, hey, you know what? I'm not telling.
Yeah.
They're going to make it look like they cooked the food.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't telling where I got this from.
But hey, when it comes to me, you can't. I don't think I can hide my flavors to save myself because I am bold. I am very distinct. So when you have my food, there's a 9 out of 10 chance you're probably not gonna have it from anybody else because I'm crazy when it gets into the kitchen.
Yeah. They're going to know after a while, nah, you didn't cook that. I know where that came. That came from Kim's Kitchen.
Exactly.
I know where it came from.
Exactly.
You had an event last month.
Yeah.
How did that go? Talk about it.
That was absolutely fantastic. And I know you had you're having someone from Louisiana, but that was one of the biggest compliments I ever got. There was a grandmother that's from Louisiana, and she came up to me and she said, "Baby, I don't know what you did with
You're an
that,
actor
but
too. Look at you. Say, start from the beginning, baby.
Bishop, baby, I don't know what you did to that, but that's probably some of the best oxtail I ever had. You keep doing what you're doing." And I said, you know what? If Miss Louisiana is telling me, and this is a Louisiana grandmama, no higher praise.
They know.
No
they
higher
know.
praise, yeah.
They know. I am so tempted. Give me your website, email, and all that stuff. And while you're doing it,
Yeah, jump
anybody
on
use
in.
this fork right here.
Yeah, jump on in.
What should I do? Just pull this over
Yeah,
here?
pull
or-
on a piece.
There we go.
See, fall off the bone.
Can I add some rice to
Add
it?
some rice. This is like a classic Sunday
right off
dinner
the bone.
with a twist.
Oh, I almost said it. I almost said it. I was going to say, oh, shoot. Very good.
Thank you, thank you.
The taste explodes in your mouth. Very tasty, very tasty.
And that's the hope, the balance, the explosion, the bomb, the flavor bomb. I'm always there for it. I love
very
the
good.
reactions.
Tell everybody where to get this from again.
Easiest way to find me is via Instagram. I am at Kimanie, Kimaanie, and that feel free to DM, and I will. I'm a very responsive person when it comes to that. Everybody's voice matters, and I would love to just continue to explore different ways to collaborate and bring my flavors to the public.
Well, I'm chewing. Say hi. I'm Kimanie Travoy,
Hi, I'm Kimanie Travoy.
a chef entrepreneur.
Chef, entrepreneur, model, banker, you name it. I'm a jack of all trades and I'm a modern day Renaissance man, but I'm here to honestly just bring people together through one bite at a time. Whether you're vegan, vegetarian, a full-on meat eater, I'm the kind of person where I like to meet you where you are because that's love to me.
Much love. Kimanie, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming in, and thanks for sharing.
Of course, of
All right,
course.
we got the bibs. Bring the bibs and everything out. Bring the plates. You guys are welcome. Come on. We'll feast for a little while. Oh, we got one more? Oh, no. Well, we have 2 more guests, so we're going to put this aside. And can we eat in between the guests?
You sure can.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with more next.
All right.
And welcome back. Wow, that last segment right there. We're still eating from that. Welcome back. Our next guest is a co-founder and president of the Labor of Love Association Incorporated. She joins us to speak about her nonprofit organization's upcoming Heart to Heart concert. It's a beautiful concert, and it's raising awareness on heart disease and so much more. Please welcome to the show, Hallia Baker. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello. How are you?
Let me see. You look very familiar.
I am very familiar. We went to school together.
Oh, there you go. New York Institute of Technology. Yes, indeed.
You got it.
And we did all the parties for all the colleges, of course, Lehman and
Oh,
colleges
my
and
goodness.
university and the step shows. Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Well, we always knew you were going to make it. I remember sitting in the cafe and just hearing you do the show from the studio at school. And we all said, Bob's going to make it. We're not even worried about him.
We had everything in that cafeteria: rock and roll, punk rock, we had
Everything.
reggae,
Remember
R&B, disco.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And a lot of people sat out there. They studied. They played cards in the lounge, and it was wonderful.
Absolutely.
So
I
what
was
are we
one of-
working on? You have this nonprofit organization. Talk
Yes.
a little bit about how you got started with that.
Basically, yes. Really, how it started is actually the name of the organization is the Labor of Love Association.
Mm-hmm.
And we started back in, I would say 2004, kind
Yeah.
of like it was a memorial to my mother. She was a pastor and a community leader in Harlem for many years.
Oh, yeah.
And when she passed away, we decided, let's do something to honor her. And so what we did was we had first a memorial service, and we hosted it like an Academy Awards kind of event. We did segments of her life from early days back in South Carolina, coming to New York, how she started the ministry, and we interspersed it with singing and poetry reading and what have you. And so people enjoyed that so much, they said you should keep it up. And so we started out with the Labor of Love Association, Labor of Love concert. And then someone said, well, maybe you want to get behind something. So at first we were supporting St. Jude's Children's Hospital because she was a supporter of children.
Yes.
And then we supported some animal charities. And then someone said, well, you know what? Listen, there is something that's happening in our community. And that what's happening is that we are failing in our health. The number one killer is heart disease. And it's a silent killer. And so they said, well, you know what? Can you do something surrounding that? You just don't come together just to sing and dance and whatever, but have a purpose. And so I decided to do that, and we came up with the concept of Heart to Heart Concert, healthy praise for healthy hearts.
And
so
then you're
that's what
working
we-
with the Labor of Love organization also, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's the base of this organization, right? So Heart to Heart is one of our initiatives. Yes.
Wow. So you still remember Francis? Remember Francis in the lounge and Jamie Storms and
Oh my God. Going back.
Harlemites, and they live in the Bronx also.
Oh my God, we're going back a ways.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause, you were on the communications track and I was on the architecture track, so we kind of split. But
Yeah.
either way, here
That's
we
right.
are.
We're together now. And
We're together now.
when and where will this concert be hosted?
We are hosting the concert at Symphony Space, and that's on
Wow.
95th Street and Broadway.
Uh-huh.
And it'll be September 6th at 6 o'clock.
A lot of history in that place there.
Oh, a lot of history. A lot of
Yeah.
history.
Yeah. So I like those outfits that you guys wear too. Did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, well, I'm not a fashionista, but my sister did.
She came up with the idea? And
She
the
came up
look?
with the idea.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Where do the proceeds come from? Are you looking to
Basically,
reach
what
out
we
and-
do, what we do is we charge not a lot of money because we don't want to be about overcharging people. I think a lot of the concerts right now people are complaining about they're so expensive. I
Yeah.
can't even afford to attend. So our tickets are reasonable. They're $40 general seating, and we have $36 for children and seniors and groups. And we do this in order to support the American Heart Association. So 25% of what we bring in supports the American Heart Association.
I mean, we really, really need this, and we need to
Oh, yeah.
continue to create the awareness about heart disease and all the other things that are attached to it. A lot of the
Exactly.
degenerative diseases that are out there, because if you look around, everybody knows somebody who has passed away from a heart attack or a stroke or or fell short at an early age. You don't
Right,
have to
right.
be
It's
in
not
your
even
70s or 80s. But
That's correct.
they're doing this at an early age. Is it attributed to diet or environment, or what did you
Oh,
find?
it's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, I'm no doctor. I used to work for Mount Sinai Hospital, but basically, our diet plays a major role, especially in the brown and Latino community. We eat fatty foods. We're all guilty of it. I mean, I was looking at the meal that you were just having, and I
Ah,
said,
you see,
"I wish I was there."
I just took a little bit of it, but it was it was
Oh,
good.
but it's
I mean,
very
you got to make
tasty.
yourself happy too, but you can't do
Exactly.
the same thing over and over every
Exactly.
day throughout
Exactly. And I
life.
think if people do things in moderation,
There you go.
it's fine. It's when we overindulge that we get
Mm,
ourselves into trouble and we don't have a balanced diet.
yeah,
Everything works on balance. If we balance our diet, we'll be a lot healthier. Mix it with eating the right foods, cheating every now and then doing a little exercise.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not really that hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
add it to it. Have you been back to visit the New York Institute of Technology?
I have not. They've been writing me for constantly come to an event and I need to go. Have
Yeah.
you?
Well, I haven't. I get the mail though. The Alumni
I do too.
Association, they want people to come together and be a part of it.
Yes.
Why don't
Yes.
you start it? I'll come.
Okay, good. All right.
You
I'll have to
will?
make that an effort. Yes, I will.
All right, so you got to keep that little card that they give you and give them a call and say, all right, yeah,
Exactly.
we're going to bring some people
Exactly.
together. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what's next for you and your organization?
What's next for us? I mean, as we do this, I mean, our goal would be to develop a scholarship program.
Uh-huh.
And this scholarship program will be for students that want to study and stay local. Because a lot of times you can get a scholarship to go out of the country, out of state. But a lot of times people are married, they have kids, can't get away to study like that, but still want to get an education or further their career. And how can they do that if they can get some support to help them, buy their books and, pay for some of their tuition, and still be home, still be close by.
Yeah,
That's our goal, and we're working on that.
that's good. That's good. I love what you're doing. How did you find out about BronxNet and what we're doing over here?
I found out about BronxNet because I know a young lady by the name of Phyllis Shelton, and she asked me, she said, are you doing anything? And I said, matter of fact, I am. And Phyllis and I work together. I'm a professional meeting planner. And so I do conferences, and Phyllis has assisted me with many of my conferences. So she was talking about BronxNet. And then I also know Barbara Mayo, who had a show on BronxNet, and I
Yeah,
interviewed with her a couple of years back. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah. Phyllis has been working with us for many, many years. She's a good person. But she moved out to Vegas, I believe, right?
I know. I say I'm jealous of you, girl.
She said,
I guess
whenever you feel free, you can come on out here and visit.
that's what she tells
Yeah,
me
yeah.
too.
Just bring a little bit of cash if you want to spin a wheel or, pull
Yeah,
that,
she's a
they
great
get that one arm
influencer.
banded, pull that
Get
down
that one-arm bandit going. Exactly.
and see what happens. Good, good.
Uh-huh.
Do you have anything coming up next that we can participate in?
Well, I'm going to be working with another gentleman by the name of David Fletcher, and he does what they call the Young Event Planners Artist Showcase. That's coming up in July. I do not, unfortunately, have a date yet because he's looking for a location.
Uh,
Normally it happens in Manhattan at a small kind of like bar situation, and a lot of people, kind of say, "Wait a minute, you didn't do gospel at the bar?" And it's yes, we are. And we found that people are open to a lot of things. You just don't expose them to it. And don't think that just because I'm sitting at the bar, I don't want to hear some good gospel. And not only is it gospel, we have an Asian woman that comes and does her show tunes. We have a jazz team that comes in. So anyone that wants to just get out there and showcase their talents, that's what we're doing. So keep track on the Heart to Heart healthypraise.com site, and I'll have updates about that as well.
do you call it that, gospel at the bar?
I guess we could, right? I remember the last year when we were there. I mean, the pool sticks went down. People came over with the glass and just enjoyed
Yeah.
themselves. And a couple of people said, "You know what? I need to go back to church."
Yeah, let's see how strong you are against temptation. Come on, we're going to sit you at the bar. And we're going to put
There
on a
you
nice
go.
gospel show. Get into the music, not the drinks.
There you go. There you go.
Or tell the bartender we're only serving water today.
I don't think that'll fly. But
Or
anyway,
wine. I think wine is safe, right?
wine is okay. It's safe. It's safe.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's part of the spirits.
There you go.
Different type.
But you got Symphony Space coming up before that, though, right?
Yes, Symphony Space is actually coming up afterwards. That's September 6th.
September 6th.
Symphony Space at 95th Street in Broadway, 6 o'clock. And it's very easy to get to. The 2-3 trains run right there, the 1 train, lots of buses, the thoroughfare from any of the West Side Highway. You can get there. It's very easy.
All right. Where do we go? How do we get there to find out more about you and your
You
organization?
will find out more. We will have tickets on sale starting on May 12th. And if you go to our site, Heart to Heart, healthypraise.com, you can find out all the information about what's going to be happening. And if you also go to symphonyspace.org, they will also have it. Tickets are sold through Symphony Space.
There you go. Thank you so much. Hallia Baker, co-founder and president, the Labor of Love Association Incorporated, Healthy Praise for Healthy Hearts. We love you and thank you. Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you again, too. And I'm going to meet you at one of those alumni events.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't age. What's going on here? Should we?
Well, you look good, too. I think the only thing happened to me was I got white hair. It used to be black.
Well, mine is trying to change, too. I'm just dealing with the color, a number of whites and grays coming in all over the place. But I'm loving it. It's good. I love it.
Exactly.
Matches my gray jacket and shirt.
There
and
you
everything.
go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we'll meet up again, okay?
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Perhaps you can come into the studio the next time we talk.
All right. Very good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
All right. We'll
you.
take a quick break right here. I've got more open coming your way next. And welcome back. You know, our last guest makes vegetables taste better than they even were before. And starting from home, then to the west side of Harlem, and now the east side village, the East Village. That's where she does all of her work there. Seasoned vegan, savors soul food, and grows with community care. I know some people who would love to come down and visit her too. She's co-founded by a mother-son duo. Yeah, they got together and said, let's do this. All right, we can become a duo. This plant-based spot, it proves that healthy food can blend seamlessly with comfort food. So please welcome to the show, Brenda Beener. Brenda, welcome.
Thank you.
All of this food today, I'm telling you. Where do we go from here? Brenda, so you started it out somewhere else, and now you're downtown in the village, huh?
Yes. We were uptown in Harlem for 10 years, and we were there during COVID. And then after COVID, we lost our lease, and we couldn't find another location up there. And so we moved down to the East Village.
There you go. No, it sounds like you're cooking. They got the
Yeah.
pots and the pans and everything going on.
Yeah,
You're
my-
uptown, downtown, all around town. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your wonderful information. What first sparked your passion for creating a plant-based restaurant? Because you got into the soul food first, probably, and then you said, well, you know what? Let's cross over here and make this a little more healthier.
Okay, well, let me see. It started with me, my husband being a plant-based, and it just evolved from there for me wanting to share my foods that I was making with my community.
And what are some of those foods you were able to veganize?
Okay, I'm able to veganize a lot of different foods. I've been able to veganize arroz con pollo, Moroccan chicken.
What?
I do burgers made from oat. I have a New Orleans crawfish that we make from burdock root and fermented soy, and macaroni and cheese and desserts. I can veganize anything.
So wait a minute. You could take the mud bug and veganize it.
Yes, it need to be. Yes. There's not many things that I cannot veganize.
Crawfish.
Yes.
Down south, down Louisiana, they call them mud bugs.
Yes.
Well, they're like snails, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, almost like that.
Or shrimp. Little shrimp, like.
Well, when I first created it, my family said that no, this tastes like lobster. And being from my family being from Louisiana, I was like, no, this tastes like crawfish.
Yeah.
And they weren't really as familiar with crawfish as I was. And so that's how the crawfish was created.
Sounds like you're cooking in the kitchen now. What are they making?
Yeah, well, they're setting up for service. They're making some barbecue crawfish. They're making the nuggets. We have nuggets that's made from a fermented soy. As I said, we have Harlem Uptown cheeseburger made from oats. So they're preparing. We have yams and collards, and they're preparing meals for today.
I went out with a group of people, and they didn't want to eat anything else other than vegan food. And we were down by West 4th Street, and they found one spot over there. But that group will look for your place. I'm gonna make sure I give them this information so that we can get together and come and visit you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're gonna come and eat up all your food, though. I gotta let you know.
I think you'll want to eat up all my food.
See, you know what to say. So tell us, were you nervous the first time you tried to switch over from the soul comfort food into veganizing everything?
No, I wasn't. I think spiritually I was really ready to stop eating meat. I haven't had red meat or white meat in about 15 years. So for me, it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
I've been plant-based though for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
So it's my lifestyle.
Yeah. And talk about the benefits of eating plant-based foods.
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to open up a vegan restaurant was because of my community. And I wanted to give them another option. And I found that even my neighbors, a lot of them had, as the lady said before me, they had heart disease, they had diabetes, they had a lot of illnesses that I felt that food and changing your diet would be able to help. And so Seasoned Vegan was created.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the pictures that are showing right now. I like the avocado dishes. What is that right there? What's in that?
That's a stuffed avocado. That's stuffed with cashew cheese and almond meat. And then we have a pico on top of it, and then we have a salad dressing as the topping.
You said pico? Hot sauce?
Pico de gallo.
You said hot sauce?
Yes.
Oh, in Spanish, pico, pica,
Yes.
pico. How do you say in Spanish? Pica, yeah.
Pica.
Yeah. Good, good. All right. So we all should leave here and go visit you too?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, we got to eat up Kim's kitchen food first.
Okay. And then my food will help you release Kim's food.
Oh! Everybody's on the floor over here. You got to see. That's a good one. So to be a business owner for a decade, what are your biggest lessons or biggest takeaways?
My biggest takeaway from this is that your location is very important where you place your restaurant, for one. It's very important. And also being, it's an extra kindness that you have for people, and having them be able to feel comfortable being in your space, and also willing to taste your food. And I think all that comes from how you present it, and also give samples because people, for those who don't want to taste it and are a little hesitant, when you give a person a sample, which I found, when I give a person a sample of my food is basically they're hooked. Hook, line, and sinker.
I like that shirt that you are. Vegan is the new black.
Yes. Yes. And we've discovered that there are so many people of color who are vegan, basically more than any other nationality. And so that was a little surprising to me. I thought it was reversed.
Yeah.
But I've discovered that no, and I was very happy about that because of the fact that we are higher in diseases than any other race of people. So when I was able to get that T-shirt, it was like very close to my heart.
Yeah, yeah. How does it feel to bring Uptown downtown? I mean, to bring Harlem to the East Village?
It's a little different. It's very much so. It's pretty challenging down here than it was uptown. Matter of fact, we are now donating a GoFundMe for this location down here because we are hopefully not going to lose our lease here, but we have until the 30th of April.
Wow.
Yeah, we're inviting people to please come and eat. Go to seasonedvegan.com, and we're hoping to be able to raise money to be able to stay open.
Yeah, wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'll give you the camera right now. You can ask for people to come down. You can say, hey, come visit us. Let us know exactly where to come.
Okay. Hi. For you guys who don't know me, I'm Chef B from Seasoned Vegan. The name of my place now is Seasoned Vegan real quick. We're located at 128 2nd Avenue, which is between St. Mark's and 7th Street. We're right next to the Orpheum Theater. We would love for you to come and buy food from us. Anything that you could do would be well appreciated.
SeasonedVegan.com.
Yes.
SeasonedVegan.com. Uptown, come downtown,
Yes.
come all around town, down a block, across the street, come to SeasonedVegan.com.
We have a lot of people that is coming, and we have a lot of customers from uptown that are coming by, and I would love to meet you all. Come in person and eat the food if you're not in town, and we appreciate it all.
Well, listen, thank you for coming on and sharing. We wish you all the luck and the blessings in the world. Did we get we got your .com? You have social media?
Yes, we do. We have Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're covered on everything. And it's all, if you go to the website, everything is listed on the website.
Good. All right. So what times are you opened until?
We're open Sunday through Thursday from 11 a.m. in the morning until 12 midnight. And Friday and Saturdays we're open at 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's for the late night folks.
Yeah. You can come from somewhere else, come from a play or something like that, and come on downtown to the East Village and enjoy some Seasoned Vegan.
Yes, please.
It'll do you right. If you had a rough weekend, come on in. Maybe after church on a Sunday, come in and get your release going.
Oh, yes. And I want to thank you for having me on your show. We truly appreciate it.
Oh, well, you're always welcome to come on the show and just let everybody know what you're all about, what you're doing. Do you have any celebrities helping you out or elected officials?
Well, they've been reposting our videos. We've tried.
Ah,
Yeah, so we've had quite a few repost our GoFundMe and sending people down. So very happy.
yeah. I see a couple of people there that associated with one of our radio stations.
Yes, we've had celebrities of when we were uptown. We had Stevie Wonder was a regular. Stephanie Mills came through. It was just endless amount of people. We had athletes. It was great. It was
Yeah.
great uptown.
Well, thank you. Lenny Kravitz hangs out with you,
Yes.
huh?
And oh, oh my God, how can I have forgotten her name?
Are you talking about a football player?
No, no, no. She passed away recently.
Oh, female. Okay.
And can't remember her name, but a number of people.
Oh, okay. Angie Stone.
We had some politicians come through. Uh, it was really great. It was really great uptown. So we're hoping that they, come down and support us down here as well for whatever amount of time we have. We hope we can extend the lease. That's what we're really hoping for. And with everyone's help, we may be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, we're helping and we're hoping and praying for you also. All right. May
Thank
God
you.
give you the blessings and the favor and the protection that you need to make it all happen.
Thank you very much. Thank
Got
you.
it. All right. Brenda Beener, co-founder, Seasoned Vegan. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and viewers. Thank you for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. It's very, very, very important. Join our host, Jonathan Calixto, and Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentin. They're going to be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for new episodes of Open. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.